In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 really simple tips to make sure you hit that high draw driver next time you're out on the golf course. Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in our indoor golf studio. And today's video, as I mentioned there in the intro, is all going to be about hitting that high draw off the tee with your drive. I'm going to share with you 3 really basic, simple steps to make sure you nail that golf shot when you need it. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. The info for me just coming on the bottom of the screen right now. We're going to jump into this one. So what I really managed to achieve there was that high draw driver. I'm going to share with you, as I said, 3 simple steps of how I was looking to achieve that. So the first was really making sure I loaded myself behind the golf ball. So I'm going to really focus on that lead shoulder. And what I'd encourage you to do, let me just put a tee peg down, pretending the ball's on there. I'm going to put a cane between my feet, but just a little bit nearer my trail foot, so it's going to be more in line with the inside of my trail thigh. So my right side for me is a right-handed golfer. So I'm just setting up to the golf ball here. I'm going to move that cane so it's behind the golf ball, almost in line with my trail thigh here. And what I was trying to get the sensation of is moving my lead shoulder that's closest to the target behind the golf ball, almost loading myself into this trail foot. I don't mind a little bit of lateral head movement. I don't want it excessive, but if my head moves quarter to half a head moving back, I think that's perfectly fine, especially with the shot I'm trying to hit here. To create that high draw drive, what do I really need? I want the club swinging up on the golf ball as it approaches, and I want the swing path going a little bit more in to out. So for me, it's the feeling of swinging more to the right of the target for a right-handed golfer. So actually moving a little bit more behind the golf ball is going to help me achieve that. So I'm really trying to get my lead shoulder over this orange line that's more between my feet here, loading behind the golf ball. That's step 1. Step 2 would actually be in the transition movement, making sure that I get the feeling my lead shoulder stays back rather than my lead shoulder moving forwards towards the tee peg. So I want to feel like I stay behind the golf ball in that transition movement. And then the third step, and it is linked there, is making sure my head stays slightly behind the golf ball. What I don't want when I'm trying to hit the high draw driver is my head moving too much laterally towards the target. So when we're actually hitting the high draw with the driver, our lower body is moving laterally towards the target. Our pressure's going to our lead foot, but our head needs to stay, or our nose needs to stay behind the golf ball. So you will feel like your lower body's going more towards the target, even though your upper body is staying slightly back behind the golf ball. And that's really going to help me produce that upward angle of attack and that in to out path. So the 3 steps, 1 was load behind the golf ball. So lead shoulder moving over this orange cane here. Lead shoulder is going to feel like it stays back in the transition. This is really relevant for anyone who's a big fader slicer, struggling with shots going out to the right of the target for right-handed golfer, left to the for a left-hander. You want to try and get that sensation almost like your back's facing the target as you allow your arms to drop, rather than your lead shoulder moving aggressively forwards towards the ball. So it's going to feel like it stays behind the golf ball here. And into impact, I'm just going to make sure that my head stays slightly behind the golf ball. So if I hit one more, that quick rehearsal, load behind the ball, keep my lead shoulder back, almost back to the target, and into impact, I'm just ensuring that my head stays behind the golf ball. This hole really plays for that high draw driver that I've picked here at Pebble Beach. That felt solid again. It may be slightly, it is overdrawing, but definitely got that ball starting right, moving left. I can't finish on that one. I do need one more, but Got the movement that I really needed there. Definitely got that ball starting right. Definitely got that ball moving left. Just overdid it a little bit. Let me try one more. Got to wait for that data to come back up, but I'll just get that sensation again. Load behind the ball, lead shoulder stays behind the ball, a little longer in that transition and really commit to that swing. That's the one. Just a soft draw on that one. And for me, you know, that's a real gain of distance. This is a generous hole. It does play a little bit downhill. So I normally fly the ball about 255, 260 is a real good carry for me, whereas I flew that 273 to finish 294. Definitely gained some yardage, a little bit down to that high draw shape because I get a high launch, a low spin, and a little bit down to the fact that, yes, this hole does play a little bit downhill, but I got that ball speed, best part, just over 150, nearly 151. I got a 16-degree launch angle. I got my spin rate down at 2,300. So that's a high launch and a low spin, which we know is that perfect recipe to maximize your distance off the tee. If you can give those simple steps a go, as I said, loading behind the golf ball, using that cane on the floor really helps. Get the feeling that in transition I stay behind the ball with that lead shoulder, not letting it dive forwards. Into impact, it's just making sure my head is staying back even though my pressure is going into that lead side. So there is a lower body movement towards the target, but I want to feel like my upper body stays slightly behind the golf ball into impact to help that positive angle of attack. If that video does help, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can. Put some comments below. It's great to hear from you guys if I can help with any particular videos, and I'll see you next time.